Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we dive into heartwarming stories that remind us love can bloom in the most unexpected places. Imagine this, you're just 20 years old, full of dreams and ambitions. When your world flips upside down, you're forced into a marriage with a 40-year-old single dad you've never met. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But what if that nightmare turns into the most beautiful surprise of your life? Stick around because this story is packed with twists, tears, and triumphs that will have you rooting for love against all odds. If you're hooked already, and I know you are, smash that like button if you've ever believed in second chances, and hit subscribe so you never miss another emotional roller coaster like this. Turn on notifications too, because we've got more inspiring tales coming your way. Now, let's jump into the story of Aria and Ethan. Aria Thompson had always been the dreamer in her small town of Willow Creek. At 20, she was studying literature at the local community college, her nose buried in books about far-off adventures and epic romances. She pictured her life like one of those novels, meeting a charming guy her age, traveling the world, maybe even writing her own stories someday. But life had other plans, cruel ones that came crashing down on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. It started with her father's diagnosis, cancer, stage 3. The treatments were expensive, and the family farm was already drowning in debt from a bad harvest. Aria's parents, Jack and Maria, had sacrificed everything for her and her younger brother Tommy. But now, with medical bills piling up like autumn leaves, they were desperate. That's when Mr. Hargrove, the wealthy landowner from the neighboring estate, made his offer. He'd cover all the medical costs, pay off the debts, and even fund Tommy's education if Aria married his son Ethan. Ethan Hargrove was 40, a widower with a 10-year-old daughter named Lily. His wife had passed away 5 years earlier in a car accident, leaving him to raise Lily alone while managing the family business, a chain of organic farms that supplied half the state. Rumors swirled around town Ethan was cold, distant, buried in work. Why would a man like that want a young bride? Aria's heart sank when her parents broke the news. "It's for the family, sweetheart," her mother whispered, tears in her eyes. "We have no choice." Aria felt like the ground had swallowed her whole. Forced marriage. In this day and age. She screamed, she cried, she begged. But the alternative was watching her father waste away without treatment. So, with a heavy heart and a suitcase of shattered dreams, she walked down the aisle in a simple white dress, her hand trembling as it clasped Ethan's. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with salt and pepper hair and eyes that seemed haunted by shadows. Lily stood beside him, a wide-eyed girl clutching a bouquet, looking as confused as Aria felt. The wedding was a blur, a small ceremony at the Hargrove estate, attended by a handful of relatives. As they exchanged vows, Aria's voice cracked on, "I do." Ethan noticed, his grip on her hand gentle but firm. That night, in their new home, a sprawling farmhouse overlooking rolling hills, Aria locked herself in the guest room, sobbing into her pillow. How could she build a life with a stranger twice her age? What about her studies, her friends, her freedom? The first few weeks were a nightmare of awkward silences and forced politeness. Ethan worked long hours, leaving before dawn and returning after dark. Lily, sweet but shy, tiptoed around Aria like she was a fragile vase. "Are you my new mommy?" Lily asked one evening over dinner, her big blue eyes wide with hope. Aria's throat tightened. I'm here to help, sweetie," she managed, forcing a smile. But inside, resentment bubbled. This wasn't her life. She missed her college classes, her late-night chats with friends, the simple joy of deciding her own path. One challenge hit hard early on: the age gap. Whispers followed them everywhere. At the grocery store, the town fair. Gold digger. Some sneered at Aria. Frail robber. Others muttered about Ethan. Aria felt isolated, her youth a constant reminder of what she'd lost. She tried to resume her studies online, but the demands of the household overwhelmed her. Cooking, cleaning, helping Lily with homework. It all felt like chains. Ethan sensed her struggle but didn't push. "Take your time," he'd say softly, leaving her space. But Aria wondered, was he really this patient, or just indifferent? Then came the first crack in the armor. It was a stormy night, the kind where thunder shakes the windows. Aria couldn't sleep, haunted by nightmares of her father's frail form in the hospital bed. She wandered downstairs to the kitchen for tea and found Ethan sitting at the table, staring at an old photo album. His shoulders were slumped, a glass of whiskey untouched beside him. Curiosity drew her closer. The album was filled with pictures of a laughing woman with Lily's eyes, his late wife, Sarah. "I'm sorry," Aria whispered, turning to leave. But Ethan looked up, his eyes red-rimmed. "No, stay, please." For the first time, he opened up. Sarah had been his high school sweetheart, the love of his life. They'd built everything together. The farm, their home, their family. Her death had shattered him. "I thought I'd never feel whole again," he admitted, voice breaking. "Lily needed a mother figure, and my father, he saw this as a way to fix me. But I didn't want to force you into this." "I'm sorry, Aria." This vulnerability stunned her. This wasn't the cold man from the rumors. This was a broken soul carrying the weight of loss. Aria sat down, and they talked until dawn. About her dreams, his regrets, the unfairness of it all. It was the start of something fragile, a bridge over the chasm between them. But challenges mounted. Lily, sensing the tension, acted out. She threw tantrums, refused to eat, even ran away once to the old barn. "I want my real mommy," she screamed at Aria during one meltdown. Aria's heart ached. She wasn't equipped for this. She called her own mother in tears. "I can't do this, I'm not a parent." Maria's advice was simple: love her like she's your own, even if it hurts. Aria tried. She started small, reading bedtime stories, baking cookies together. One day when Lily fell off her bike and scraped her knee, Aria held her close, whispering comforts until the tears stopped. "You're brave, just like your mom," Aria said, echoing what Ethan had shared about Sarah. Ethan noticed the change. He began coming home earlier, joining them for family dinners. He surprised Aria with a study nook in the attic, stocked with books and a laptop. "Your dreams matter too," he said. Slowly, the age difference faded into the background. Ethan shared stories from his youth, backpacking through Europe, starting the farm from scratch. Aria laughed at his tales, seeing the adventurous spirit beneath the years. In turn, she introduced him to modern music, dragging him to a local concert where they danced under the stars. For the first time, Aria felt seen, not as a young bride, but as an equal. Yet, deeper wounds surfaced. Aria discovered Ethan had been battling depression since Sarah's death, burying himself in work to cope. One night, he had a panic attack, gasping for air as memories flooded him. Aria stayed by his side, holding his hand. "You're not alone anymore," she promised. It was a turning point. Ethan sought therapy, and Aria joined him for couples sessions. They learned to communicate about her fears of losing her identity, his guilt over trapping her. The biggest challenge came 6 months in. Aria's father passed away despite the treatments. Grief hit her like a tidal wave. She withdrew, questioning everything. Was it worth it? She sobbed to Ethan. He didn't offer platitudes. Instead, he shared his own loss. "Grief doesn't end, but it changes. Let me help you carry it." Together, they visited her father's grave, planting wildflowers. Aria's favorite, Lily made a card, her childish scrawl reading, "I'm sorry for your daddy." In that moment, Aria realized this mismatched family was becoming her anchor. As months turned to a year, love blossomed unexpectedly. It wasn't the fiery passion of youth, but a deep, steady flame. Ethan surprised Aria on her 21st birthday with a trip to New York City, her dream destination. They wandered museums, ate street food, and talked about the future. "I never expected this," Aria confessed as they watched the sunset from a rooftop. Ethan replied, pulling her close, "But I'm grateful every day." Lily thrived too. She called Aria Mom one day unprompted during a school play. Aria's eyes filled with tears, happy ones. The town gossip faded as people saw their genuine bond. Aria finished her degree, even publishing a short story inspired by their journey. Ethan expanded the farm, involving Aria in decisions, turning it into a family venture. But life threw one more curveball. Aria discovered she was pregnant. Fear gripped her. Was she ready? Ethan, ever the rock, reassured her. "We'll face this together." Like everything else, their son Jack, named after her father, was born healthy, a symbol of new beginnings. Lily doted on her baby brother, the family complete in ways they never imagined. Years later, as Aria looked back, she marveled at the twists. What started as a forced union became a chosen love. Ethan, the 40-year-old single dad, had surprised her, not with grand gestures, but with quiet strength, unwavering support, and a heart big enough for them all. And that's the story, folks. Isn't it incredible how life can turn pain into purpose? If this tale touched your heart, remember, love doesn't always follow the script we write. It finds us when we least expect it, teaching us resilience, empathy, and the beauty of second chances. If you're inspired, drop Drop a like to spread the positivity, subscribe for more stories that lift your spirits, and comment below. Have you ever found love in an unexpected place? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.